What's going on, everybody? Doc from Average Gamer Guys back yet again into some more PUBG action. And the updates for this game just keep on rolling. So in this video today, quick, short, sweet, to the point. We'll have a little bit of gameplay and gunplay going on in the background. But we're going to talk about the most recent update that actually just came out the other day for PUBG on Xbox One. Super excited about this. Honestly, we've talked about it before. They're doing a really good job. They're really continuing to progress this game forward. This update was about a 3.5 gigabyte update, so pretty big. But those big updates honestly just go to show that they're really making those steps forward. A lot of progress with this one, and a lot of just continued progress with this game, just getting better and better. I'll tell you, in the last couple weeks or so actually that I've been playing it, really haven't had any crashes. Things seem to be getting tweaked and getting modified to balance the game out a little bit more, which is always really good. And then a lot of quality life improvement stuff too that I'm super excited about. So let's jump into this. Again, thank you guys as always for joining me for just a few minutes. Really actually enjoyed doing these news videos and getting it out to you guys. And honestly, this update kind of surprised me a little bit until I tried to jump into the game. So if you haven't played it in a couple days and want to jump back into it, just expect you're gonna have an update waiting for you. So there's quite a bit of different stuff that they focused on. They had a couple optimization, couple bug fixes, which we'll talk about in just a little bit. But honestly, there's one significant thing that I think if you're a solos player or just a player in general that hates this, I guess, portion of the game, you're going to be probably really happy with what they've done in this update. So vehicles, vehicle damage, how much they can take, how much they deal out has been modified. Specifically, they've increased damage to the vehicle body and then significant damage to the wheels when targeted with gunfire. I will tell you, it felt like there were some times where you try to pop a couple tires, to be honest, even from far away. You'd think you'd be able to get like 1 or 2 shots on them and pop them, but they would take like 4 or 5. Really shouldn't be how it is. So that's going to make a significant change. And then the damage to the vehicle body was essentially to get after the point where that vehicles were just essentially kind of ruining the game a little bit, especially in solos. You go into a solo match and that's literally all you would see would be you get in the final circle and people would be just driving their cars around. So with this most recent update, it's actually really nice. Essentially, we get the fact that there's going to be more damage to the vehicles. They'll be a lot easier to blow up. And then obviously being able to pop the tires is going to be another key portion of that, because even if you can pop 2 tires, essentially that person's not going to be able to control that vehicle and therefore shouldn't be able to run you over. Interestingly enough, they've also increased the vehicle damage when it's successfully targeted with a grenade, which I think they should do. Obviously, that makes a whole lot of sense. If you're good enough to get a grenade and get somebody to drive over it, it should absolutely destroy that vehicle. So I think that was a good change. And then both driver and passenger are now going to suffer increased injuries from crashing into objects or other vehicles. This is the only one, and they specifically labeled the Dacia, the UAZ, and the buggy. This specific one scares me just a little bit because some of the mechanics of driving over like rocky or bumpy terrain still aren't the greatest. So what I would hate to do is you to just be driving along, hit a bad bump, and then kind of nosedive just a little bit and end up taking a crazy amount of health. I don't think that's the case here, but obviously still some map and kind of fixes there with vehicles to kind of make sure that that doesn't happen. But I do like the fact that if you slam headfirst into a tree trying to ram somebody, you're going to take a significant chunk of damage. That makes sense to me, and another good way to kind of balance and make it so, again, people aren't just driving around in vehicles trying to get kills with running people over. They also made a slight reduction to player damage when being struck by a vehicle. Now, slight reduction I think is maybe appropriate. I think the only other way to move forward with this would be to scale it depending on what type of game you're in. So if you're in a solos game, maybe it doesn't down you or kill you immediately. Maybe it takes 75% of your health. In duos or squads, I actually don't really necessarily mind if you get hit by a vehicle running full speed, that it takes pretty much all of your health. Maybe they make it so that it takes almost all of it if you're at full health. The other thing I think that's more maybe a bigger complaint is in a duos or a squads game, if you get hit by a car, a lot of times what ends up happening is that your body then ends up still kind of gets thrown and then ends up still in front of the car, and then you get essentially ran over twice in the course of a short period. I think there's something that they could do there that might make that less of an issue, and just make it so again that the vehicle isn't the one thing that's completely taking you out of the game. The game should it should be balanced in a sense that, you know, no weapon's going to be 100% perfect, and essentially you shouldn't be able to use a car in that way. Although I do agree that if you do get hit by one, you should take a pretty significant amount of damage. So continuing tweaks. I like the way they're going with this. I think they're also, to be honest with you, me and Sloth talked through it. I think these are really good. I think these fixes will really help and just kind of help to continue to balance it. So we do get some additional optimization things. So they're talking about optimization for controller input lag, obviously really good. They're also talking visual quality, improved for Xbox One on both the red dot, the holographic, and the 2x sight. Really excited about that. I think that's a good move. Finally, we just have a lot of bug fixes. So they've resolved an issue where your inventory would highlight the wrong column when looting. Absolutely hate that. That was one of the things that's like, if you're trying to get through a place and you're trying to loot quickly, really would get in the way. So glad they were able to fix that. Played a couple games, haven't had as many issues, so hopefully they continue to optimize that, because really that's got to be something you got to do and got to be able to do quickly. Sensitivity setting for the 4x scope is now also applied to the permanent scope on the VSS. That's actually one of the reasons I wouldn't use the VSS a whole lot, for the sole fact that it's scoped too quickly. You could look around almost too fast, so I like that they've adjusted that and aligned them. I think that's perfect. Auto run, double clicking the left stick is now disabled when aiming down sights. I think that's a really good move. Players can now use the D-pad while in the map view without switching melee, pistol, or throwing weapons. Also very good. And then removing the marker from the map when pressing Y will no longer switch your primary and secondary weapons. Also something that I think they needed to be able to do, because you'd hate to be on that, have your primary out, and then accidentally swap that off and maybe get into a gunfight, and next thing you know, you're on the wrong weapon. So good that they're able to fix that, and then also fixed an issue where the crosshair wouldn't load correctly if players had to reconnect to a game session. So as always, they're doing a good job. Consistent updates. That's really the only thing that you could hope to see, and this is actually, I think, update number 7. So it's one of those things where you just continue to hope to see, especially with this game in beta, and definitely think they're going the right way with it. So really excited. Also, kicking off tomorrow, I think we should be getting the 30,000 battle points, February 1st, I guess. So get out there, pick the game up. Actually, it's probably too late by the time you guys see this, but hopefully you pick the game up, and you'll have some plenty of battle points to spend if you did end up getting it. And again, that was for reaching the 4 million milestone. We did a video on it just the other day, so go check that out. But like I said, super excited for this. We'll continue to bring all the update news as we get it, and gameplay when we can. We had a pretty solid W here, me and Sloth, so happy with that. But I'm Doc for Sloth, Average Gamer guys. As always, thank you so very much for watching. If you're new, you know what to do. If you've been on YouTube, do subscribe, like, really does help us out. Let us know down in the comments below what you think the best thing out of this newest update and what they need to continue to improve. There's tons of stuff, so love to hear your thoughts and comments on that. But yeah, we'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching.